Hey everyone, welcome to the special edition of the Brandon Peters Show, where I'm going to show you Game Frame. This was sent to me by its makers, its creators. It says patch and pending, so I think they're still, it's not maybe mass produced yet or something like that, but it's been very popular on Reddit, I'm told, and it's a cool game, like taking board games to the next level, maybe. Lots of different things here, but we'll get into that. So here's like what the box looks like. It's pretty big. So here we go. Opening it up, there's a sheet they provide. I'll go over in a second with games they recommend playing with this. Let me pull this board out of here. Here's your board game for Game Frame. Here we are. Pretty cool. I'm not going to tip it over because things might fall out. All right, here we are. All the game pieces are here. You've got extra area here. Now, instantly right off the bat, you can see we have chess items. Like that's a pawn for the game right here. So yes, chess is one of the games you can play on here. And as you see, there's blank and black ones. You can play checkers on Game Frame as well. And then we also have a lot of word games to play on Game Frame. Now they have these areas up here and extra down here they call the limbo area, where you can, if you're a player 1 and player 2, you can store pieces up here. Obviously with chess and checkers, you would only use this area, but the whole board, all you see, that gets used too. So when it comes to word games and stuff, each of these squares does different things here. You know, of course you have the chess piece, but you have like the letter E here. You have the word proud on one side, sorry on one side, go on one side, shallow on one side, and these all come into handy in different ways and places in the games. So like the black one has a letter, different things as well. So these games that they recommend you playing, there's chess and checkers, right off that. Now they have 4 in a row. That's a game they play. That's kind of their version of tic-tac-toe with this setup. They also have stack frame. That one also another variation on getting ones in a row. There's also one with like columns. You build up columns and do that. And then they get into letter frames. They have games where you spell things out and get words. They have games where they have words where you diss people. You have to write like a dissing sentence, like being a hater on your opponent and trying to come up with like the longest phrase to say. There's spelling ones. There's word search where you just throw all them in, like player by player throws in the letters and you got to make words out of them. A lot of games. Poetry frame, writing poetry. Some of these, there's a reason, aren't really games necessarily, but I'll go over that in a second. They also, there's more games according on their website, and then if you want to submit a game for them for future use, they're open to it, and they're probably, maybe they give you credit. I don't know. I hope I'm not speaking for them on that, but yeah, you can suggest a game. You can come up with games. It's still in that early stage that you can come up with games. And it's a board. This board is just set up to be like, hey, come up with something. You got all these pieces. You're creative. That's pretty cool too. It's open to that. But they also give you all these games. You've got this options. Just if you have kids with creativity, learning stuff, you can do it that. One of the things when I mentioned non-word games, well, this thing is set so you can mount it to your wall. So you could play games not sitting down. You could leave this up on a wall, not taking up space, and start a chess game or a checkers game. Long games of chess. You could put it on there, on the wall. You're like walking by, like, oh, my move, wife. My move. And you go, boom, and then maybe you can check mate. I don't know. But you can do that. You can do checkers. You can write notes. You can have a nice day. Eat crap, you sorry side. You can write, reactions to moves and stuff while playing chess. All these things are options. They're open. And the coolest thing is that it's on the wall. So games don't have to be played in the shorter period. A lot of board games, they got to take up space on the table. This thing is on your wall. It's part of your day. And maybe in the morning you make a chess move before you go to work. Maybe that late at night. Maybe things get heated during dinner when you keep getting up to go and put it up on. Game Frame's got it all. It's fun. Lots of words. Lots of. I personally, I love that they came up with a game that was just setting up and putting words in to diss the opponent, and you score and you win on that. That's good enough. So this thing, not only is it for games, checkers, chess, word games, but it's also like a bulletin board or a nice little decoration where it's like, oh, cute, we have this thing. So my wife thought it was really cool when she opened. She's like, what is this? I was like, oh yeah, they're sending it for me to take a look at and showcase. And I just think it's actually a really nifty idea. It's classic with a new spin and a thoughtful spin that, hey, put it on the table. Because you could just take it off the wall and put it on the table if you wanted, or leave it on the wall. That's the coolest thing. Leave it on the wall. That's one of the coolest things. So that is Game Frame. Thank you so much for sending it to me. It's pretty awesome. People can look it up, check it out. It's a really cool thing. Support them. This is really heavy duty stuff. This isn't not messing around. It is good. Oh, I'm shaking. Good blocks, good wood. I mean, it has a feeling of like it was handcrafted at home and sent to me, but I'm not sure if it was or not. But it's really awesome. Don't make your own. Support the makers. They came up with this first. So yeah, Game Frame. One last thing, making up games, other things. I'm told you can write with dry erase marker on these and wipe it off if you come up with other words, other games, and things you want to play. So that's it. Thanks, Game Frame. I look forward to hanging this up on my wall and dissing my wife and children on a regular basis. Have a good weekend, folks. I'll see you Monday on the Brandon Peters Show, The Crow with Danielle Sepulveras.